A big winner of the day, Nepomniachtchi. You've incorporated the Catalan as part of your repertoire with huge success. How did it feel today?
Well, better than yesterday, and yeah, a little bit more successful.
A little bit more successful, you would say. Were you surprised about his very long think here in this position? Were you familiar with the position that we got after Rugby 1?
Well, I think he quite recently had a game against Magnus, and where he chose this a6, 9, c6. So maybe in Zagreb, okay, I know no idea, but okay, one of the recent rapid games. But I felt like this is probably not the most expected line in the Catalan out of like 3 or 4 extremely solid lines. So I just had an idea, so then I sacrificed the pawn like queen c2 and play for, I don't know, for some compensation. And yeah, in fact, it's quite a playable line for white. Of course, like black is solid, but yeah, I think he played like in an interesting way, but maybe some of his decisions were like questionable.
Take us through some of those decisions. Where do you think he started to lose the threat of the position? Clearly, this is still playable. He's under pressure by up a pawn. Where do the wheels start coming off?
I can't recall. Maybe there is suddenly bishop e7 move is important to make instead of bishop d6. So it's. I think yeah. After move 12, I think.
Here, bishop e7.
I think bishop e7. Yeah, with some weird ideas. Maybe queen protects the pawn on h7, and then you make a castle like this.
Like bishop e7 and queen h5.
Yeah, because for example here after bishop d6, maybe bishop is gets into trouble after c4, c5. White wins important tempi.
Yeah.
So
there was a game that went queen h5 actually exactly in this position.
Yeah, that's maybe a good move. So.
Were you surprised by f5?
No, he took like a long think, and I thought like maybe it would be queen a5 or queen h5 or h6 or f5. So after f5, I wasn't sure like how do I proceed here. So bishop g2 was the move.
Yes.
Yeah, and here I was kind of expecting e5.
Which the just thought was the best move?
Yeah, I thought it's like e5 is very principal, and after e5 I didn't really see the way. So rook b7 is quite tempting, but after rook b7 I think he can not take on b7, but he can just go e4. So
e4 cutting up the bishop.
Yeah, so that's not so clear if I achieved something. Yeah, so probably instead of rook b7 I would choose maybe just taking on b7 here with the bishop. So now I have this tempi for queen b3 check. I'm not sure I'm massively better or something, but clearly, okay, I have sort of an upper hand here. So it's like some b file. But once again, black is very solid. And what he did, well, I don't really know. So he made a castle. Yeah, here.
Yeah, we got to this rook endgame.
Yeah, the rook endgame I thought like is very suspicious for him because he can't really get this. Simple 3-on-2 structure, yes. So basically, the way how you draw these worse endgames, you just try to not to lose all your pawns, so win as much pawns as you can, and then defend on the on the king side 3-on-2. But exactly this 3-on-2 is quite unpleasant, yeah. So it's like
we were talking about that.
I'm not sure it's winning with the best play, but anyway, what he did was quite hard for me to understand because he just decided to stay. In a very calm way, and yeah, after the game he said that okay, he didn't really see a plan for me to improve, but which was quite surprising because okay, I have no plan, I just can push pawns. Yeah, so
that's a good plan.
Maybe one cannot call can't call this a plan. Yeah, but yeah, that's
it worked in this game, so it has to be a good
push
plan.
Him, baby.
Yeah,
push him, baby, indeed.
Yeah. So then e5 it says. Was it negative?
Yeah,
I thought maybe g4 is more precise, but I felt like okay, 5 king e4 should also be more or less enough. Okay, computer has all the wisdom in the world. So well, it's hard to say what was next because yeah, he just stayed until I actually put my king somewhere on e6, and this was I think this was enough.
There was some time that I thought about you only in a very dynamic way. You loved all these complications, and suddenly you add this Catalan, you outplay Firouzja positionally, simply having a better understanding of structures. Do you think that you've been able to adapt to other types of chess?
I think I'm still learning this type of chess. But saying of the way, of course, one can only dream about such an endgame. Especially this rook endgame when you have some pawn majority and also an active rook is, even despite it's equal number of pawns, it's still like. It's really hard to play as a weaker side.
I have to ask you, what happened yesterday?
I thought like maybe, you know, the only good news about yesterday's games was like it's really hard to play worse. So I was quite optimistic about today's game because of this. But actually, yeah, I think I just had not enough experience into this type of structures, and thanks to Magnus, I got some. Yeah, probably I would prefer like get it like somewhere before, but I mean, yeah, it's like type of position which is white is I don't know, pretends to to improve, but in fact it's very hard to improve for white. But yeah, I guess just when it's like 5 different lines saying 000 of computer, yeah, it's of course play could be improved from both sides, yeah, especially in the opening. But I mean, of course, this c5, I mean, it could only have sense when I don't trade away my knight on e6, and then I had this tactical idea, c5, d4, and then okay, my knight becomes active. But as it was in the game, yeah, I guess he just got some nice 2 bishops, and okay, this before b5 idea, and yeah, it also was based on some blunder, because after bishop d2 I was going to play knight e4, and then okay, I noticed that okay, bishop a5, b6, bishop e1, and yeah, my position just falls apart. So that's why, I mean, okay, of course, one could defend it better, for example, play rook e8 instead of whatever, rook e7, and it's worse, it's much worse, but it's, I mean, far from losing. But yeah, it's not, as as they say in Russia, it was not, Beckham's day.
Well, Jan, always learning. The panel, do you guys have any questions?
Not at all.
Just well played, and
nice bounce back victory.
I don't want to say that those are good interviews to have back to back. Yeah, those are.
Congratulations, and Jan, we'll look forward to your game tomorrow.